Another episode of Outside the Ropes with myself, the co-host, get it right this week, Matthew Moore, and my partner in crime, the man who thinks he knows it all, my co-host, Mr. Tommy McNulty.
You just said you were the co-host. Would that not make me the host? I don't know about semantics or anything.
We're co-hosts here, folks. We're co-hosts. How are you this week, Tommy?
Very good.
Are you going to be a lot more happier than what you were in previous weeks, or what?
I'm happy all the time.
Okay. Welcome to another episode on Monday, the 11th of February, 2013. And we're here back this week again on popular demand, which we do hope, to talk about the past week in the world of professional wrestling. Now, we have a lot to talk about tonight, a lot of important topics to talk about tonight, Tommy. We'll start off, first of all, by saying hello to all our new followers on Facebook and on Twitter. Would you like to say hello to our new people who follow us?
Yes, and...
Such a depressing guy, isn't he?
I'm not depressing. Would you let me finish?
No. I do apologise. Go ahead. Speak quickly, come on.
I was about to say, you're welcome for getting to watch me right now.
So you think.
And listen to me, of course, Bangor Community Radio.
Bangor Community Radio, exactly. If you want to get in touch with us here at Outside the Ropes, the best way to do that is if you look at the bottom of the right side, which is my side, our website, which is, there we go, www.outsidetheropes.tk. And people who are listening on Bangor Community really can't see that on the screen because we are on YouTube and on Bangor Community Radio. The way to get in touch with us as well on our social media is on Twitter, at Outside the Rope, no S on the end, even though we're called Ropes. And on Facebook, which this guy here keeps an eye on. You want to give your plug for the Facebook page?
Yeah, just type in Outside the Ropes Wrestling Talk Show in brackets in the Facebook.
Okay, and our great friends here at Bangor Community Radio, give their wee page a like, just search the words Bangor Community Radio, and also on Twitter if you want to search Bangor 1079 FM. Now, going on to tonight's show, we'll start off by kicking off with last Monday night's Monday Night Raw. Did you watch it this week?
A little bit.
Doesn't do much research here, does he?
You do the research, I take the credit.
So you think. Monday Night Raw this week started off with former WWE Champion CM Punk coming out to try and defend, should we say, Paul Heyman from the week before, about the whole being caught out with the Shield, etc., etc. Punk's on a rant, and out comes the five-time WCW champion and one-time World Heavyweight Champion.
So that's
6-time. But current General Manager of SmackDown, Booker T.
Why was he on Raw?
I will explain.
Okay.
Well, he did try to explain, but he sort of messed up a few times in the middle of talking. Booker T came out to talk to us. He was given permission from the person who he tried to name 2 or 3 times, muffling his words, but it was live TV, so he messed it up quite a bit.
Right.
Vicky Guerrero gave him permission to come out and speak to Punk, and informed Mr. Punk that he would have a match later on that night with a choice of 3 opponents, between Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, and, did you research who the last one was? He didn't. Anyway, going on, he had a choice of 3 opponents, and the, what should we call it, WWE Universe?
No.
Fans. WWE Universe fans, we call them fans. The fans had a choice to vote, and they voted for Chris Jericho. So they did.
So who was the third person?
There you go. You got a computer beside you. Go ahead and research that. Was it I do all the research and you take all the credit?
Exactly.
Not
That's the way it's always been.
Anyway, going on.
Be.
That's something for you to find out before the end after the first commercial break. There you go.
Just so make things difficult, doesn't he?
And other matches this week as well. Ryback or Roydback or Ryberg or
Ryberg, Goldback, Roydback.
Yep, he defeated Antonio Cesaro again, which we really think very highly of Antonio Cesaro here at Outside the Ropes, but he's on a bit of a losing streak at the moment, even though he's still a United States champion. Alberto.
The United States title doesn't really mean that much in the WWE. It hasn't for a long time, if it ever did.
Well,
it was a WCW and an NWA title, so.
Well, I think it's a lot of good champions in the past, especially in the time of the tender of WWE as well. But anyway, Alberto Del Rio defeated your friend Cody Rhodes.
Tom Selleck.
Yep, Magnum PI. Which he released a new T-shirt, which I bought it out. It's actually quite trendy looking, of a moustache.
Okay.
Yeah, must get you one of those for the show one week. Afterwards, Alberto Del Rio called it the Big Show from the incident from last week's SmackDown, where we talked about on Outside the Ropes, where the Big Show had chased Alberto Del Rio chased the Big Show away with a bat or a pipe or whatever it was. I think it might have been a pipe.
Okay.
Big Show appeared on the Titantron screen, sitting in a hotel room nearby. And he was pretty much blabbering on, and he said he was going to fight him, but as long as Booker T sent over the contract for him to sign. So this obviously progressed throughout the night, where over the next hour or so that you seen the Big Show, in the hotel room, and every time the door knocked, you thought it might have been Alberto, but it was like people bringing him his food, and
oh, that's a surprise! People bringing Big Show food.
Later on that there,
what did they bring him? A tray of small children.
Anyway, the meal the size of a small child because he could eat loads in that big guy. But eventually, then Alberto did turn up at the hotel and attacked the Big Show in the hall. Pretty much knocked him unconscious with the fire extinguisher. Left him laying beside the elevator, and the elevator opened up, and it comes to the random people were looking at him, and he was lying down, and he was sort of got his revenge on him from him knocking his friend out, Ricardo. Yourself. We do say he looks like Ricardo Rodriguez.
Ricardo Rodriguez. I have never looked like him. I never will look like him. He wishes he could look like me, but there you are.
Yeah, okay. So
you call me a liar?
No comment. Daniel Bryan, in our matches, Daniel Bryan defeated Rey Mysterio in a reasonably good match, which wasn't too bad, I must say. And then out comes the return of the big man, Mark Henry.
Kool-Aid Man. Oh, yeah!
He wears black, he doesn't wear red anymore.
Aw.
Well, anyway.
My joke was wasted.
He returns and just pretty much kicks Daniel Bryan's ass. Makes a statement, said he's now back for destruction. I did hear that Mark Henry's contract's due up pretty soon. So maybe this could be his final run. Unless he signs a new deal, which I hope he does. So Mark Henry makes a return this past week as well. In other matches,
world champion again?
Maybe. Sheamus defeated Kane this week as well. No surprise there. Kane seems to be doing more of the comedy act at the moment with Daniel Bryan. Which kind of
this before. Kane was at one time a big monster when Paul Bearer first brought him in. He was pretty much destroying his brother week in and week out. And
now he's resorting to the dancing with or acting that needs it with Daniel Bryan. And
it's bad enough he was once a dentist.
Well, we'll say no more about that, but
Isaac Yankem, DDS, look it up.
Going on now to Miz TV, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Miz guest this week was, should we call him the Walrus?
Skullcap.
Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman comes out to the ring. Starts. Him and Miz are going back and forward at it, mouthing off to each other, and out comes your best friend, Vicky Guerrero.
Frank.
This guy.
Can I be Frank?
For people who have never listened to this before, or you missed the week, that actually Tommy here has assumed that Vicky Guerrero looks like Frank the dog as one of our mobile phone. Here, you put that phone away. Yeah.
I think we probably received a tweet.
No. Tell him to put his phone away. We're live on the air here.
Gino Cohen said, "Put that cigarette out."
Yep.
Well, Rumble 92.
Where was I? Yes. Out comes your friend. Well, sorry, I was just saying. Sorry, correct myself. This guy here has claimed that Vicky Guerrero looks like Frank the dog from Men in Black.
Yeah.
He has received a bit of abuse actually for that on Twitter and Facebook, but we'll say no more about that. Vicky Guerrero comes out. Him and Paul Heyman are off, and then they were going on and on and on about Brock Lesnar. Vicky Guerrero then stated that she has signed Brock Lesnar to a lucrative WWE contract.
And do you want to know what she got in return for that?
Walked.
A full tray of pedigree crumb.
Brilliant. Oh, you are such a crude man. Anyway.
And a wee pat in the head.
Rambling on each other, and then The Miz stepped in with his whole, really, and all this rant that he normally does. And then he kept going on, and he says, can't wait to see Vince McMahon coming back till he fires Vicky. And he finishes what he was doing with Paul Heyman. He's going to fire Paul Heyman. In fact, he says he can't wait to see their ugly, walrus, 30 chin faces be sent out the door, pretty much. And then all of a sudden, boom, Brock Lesnar's music hits. Out comes Brock Lesnar. Of course, all guns blazing. Another guy who you don't rate at all. Your opinion?
Good wrestler. I don't rate him as
A person. Hashtag.
My opinions are my own.
Is my own.
Both.
People who are actually watching this and listening, but tweeting in, it's actually hashtag my opinion is my own.
Either way works. My catchphrase, my decision.
My opinion or my own. He needs a t-shirt. Help.
And I need you to pay for it.
No. Anyway, Brock Lesnar comes out. And we've just received another one. Turn the phone off. Seriously, we're on the air here. We should get this guy fired over here, shouldn't we? Yeah. Anyway, going on, Brock Lesnar gets into the Miz's face. The Miz pushes Brock. Brock then F5s. Or sorry, he doesn't. Correct me here, sorry. He attacks Miz, throws him out of the ring, and then he F5s. Well, Miz gets back in the ring, tries to defend himself, and then he gets F5'd by Brock Lesnar. End of segment. And then going on after that there, pretty much Brock Lesnar has pretty much destroyed the Miz. So we did put a thing up on our website saying, who do you think Brock Lesnar will face at WrestleMania? A few tweets in so far, but which we're going to get to later on in the episode. Just to close up the subject of Raw this week as well, or other matches as well. Randy Orton defeated the Intercontinental Champion Wade Barrett in a reasonably good match.
Bryan defeated Rey Mysterio.
We did talk about that a minute ago, where Mark Henry returned. Yep, you're losing the plot this week. And then finally...
It easily happens sitting beside this.
Yep. The CM Punk match took place with Chris Jericho, which I might add was a fantastic match. Went on back and forth for quite a bit. The rematch from last year's WrestleMania. Very, very good match. Punk came out on top. No surprise there. Yeah. Chris Jericho is starting to look pretty good again as he sports his new tattoos. Looking very good.
Midlife crisis.
Now, before we go into the commercial break, just to wrap up the subject of Raw, at the start of the night, it did state that John Cena was going to call out the Shield. Superman, Super Cena, the
Royal Rumble winner,
the hero, our best friend here outside the ropes.
Next WWE champion, unfortunately.
Well, that's what you say, your opinion or your own. He said he'll call out the Shield. Now, but it came down to the point we're calling out at the Shield. Before it happened, in appears in the ring, Brad Maddox.
The Maddox.
Maddox. Well, whatever way you want to call it. Maddox, whatever you want to call it. And he decided to call it the Shield. Because clearly they've beaten them down in previous weeks because of the video that you saw Paul Heyman in. Yeah. And out comes the Shield. Through the crowd, of course. Get into the ring and start beating down Maddox. And out comes Super Cena, Sheamus, and Mark Henry. And there's someone's phone going again. Seriously. Are you having a laugh here?
Hard to find good help here.
Unbelievable. Seriously.
First I got to stick with this guy and now phone's bleeping everywhere.
Unbelievable.
Sort of put me on.
So it all broke out into a big brawl where Raw closed, where Cena was in the ring with Ryback. Sorry to say Ryback come out as well. Ryback, also Sheamus, and Maddox didn't really appear at the end. He was sort of like outside the ring, maybe beaten up. But it appeared that the superheroes had chased away the Shield again. So, in closing for Raw this week, a half decent episode, do you reckon? Or...
From what I've seen of it, it was okay.
It was average. It was okay. No Rock this week.
Big surprise.
Will he be there next week?
Nope.
We do not know. Will he be at any house shows?
Nope. Will he be at WrestleMania? Probably not.
He will be. Of course he has to be. Don't be stupid. Well, before we go on the commercial break...
sarcasm.
We want to hear from you fans as well, regarding this week's Raw. Or this past week's Raw, sorry, I should say. We've had a few tweets in about it. We want to hear some more folks as well. WrestleMania is just around the corner. Elimination Chamber's around the corner. We want to hear more thoughts about it. We put a couple of things up on our website at outsidetheropes.tk. Who should Brock Lesnar face at WrestleMania? Should The Rock be WWE champion? Our opinions are, well, his opinion is his own. But we'll go to a quick commercial break. That wraps us up for Raw for the first part of the show. We'll have to go to a track for Bangor Community Radio, which I'm sure all our wonderful listeners are listening again.
And I hope you're using good songs.
Of course I am. It's not even me. I don't even run the station. It's what the producer picks.
I don't want to have to get any producers fired.
Okay. And the phone goes again. Seriously. We have to... Speak to that guy at the interval, will you?
You're fired.
You
Get
break.
out.
We'll be back in about 2 or 3 minutes' time here for War Outside the Ropes with myself, Matthew Moore, and my co-host, Mr. Tommy McNulty. Co-host. Back. Hi, and welcome back to part 2 of Outside the Ropes with myself, Matthew Moore, and my, I keep saying this every week, co-host. My host, partner, co-host, whatever you want to call him, Tommy McNulty. Now, during the break, that guy has actually turned his phone off.
I told him to get out. He's fired. It's my decision.
Should we fire the guy with the mobile phone? Give us a tweet.
My show, my decision. He's fired.
Anyway, we got through Raw there quickly, because we had a lot to talk about, and they were in our ear, giving us a lot to try and get through as quick as we can, which I do apologise about.
Which is very rude.
But I do apologise because at the end of the day, we have to play tracks on the radio, we have to go to commercial. It's not our fault, so don't blame us. Shh, don't tell the producer lady. She loves us really. I mean, look where we are now. We're in a lovely little place here now, aren't we? Anyway, going on, back to wrestling. That's why we're here.
Too.
That's why, what, sorry?
Nothing.
Anyway, back to wrestling. That's why we're here. Big announcement this week on Raw, which we didn't want to announce it during Raw. We're talking about Raw because we want to spend a bit of time to talk about this. Big announcement regarding the Hall of Fame this year.
Yep.
We heard rumours. We did mention it. I think it was last week or the week before we mentioned it. It's been announced. You want to do it since you like to take all the credit, as you keep on saying. Would you like to do the honours of announcing to the people who haven't heard yet about the next Hall of Fame inductee?
Yep, it's the long overdue induction.
Well overdue.
Of the living legend of professional wrestling, Bruno Sammartino.
Yep. 2-time
former WWF champion. That was the Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
Well, was he not? He wasn't WWF, was he? Or was it WWF?
When he was champion, he was still the WWF.
Okay.
He beat Buddy Rogers in about 30 seconds, 20
Correct.
seconds.
Yep.
He also beat Stan the Man Stasiak, who, of course, the father of Meat, Sean Stasiak. He beat him for the WWF title. He lost it originally to the Russian Bear, Ivan Koloff. He lost it the second time to superstar Billy Graham. And to be honest,
another Hall of Famer.
Yep. And speaking of Ivan Koloff, should be in the Hall of Fame maybe next year. We'll see. Anyway, we've been back to Sammartino.
Yep.
He was long overdue his place in the Hall of Fame. He should have been in it from about 94, but there was some bad blood between Vince McMahon and Bruno Sammartino regarding the whole steroid abuse trial that was going on in the early 90s, and they hadn't spoken in years. So WWE was pretty much trying to discredit Bruno Sammartino's accomplishments, and Bruno wanted nothing to do with them because of the whole Attitude Era, the sex and the violence and everything that they were putting out there on TV.
Okay. And you've been doing a bit of research on the deal that he has signed with WWE. If you want to sort of inform the good listeners and the good viewers of YouTube and Bangor Community Radio what the deal's pretty much all about.
Apparently, along with his Hall of Fame induction, it's also going to include spots on the Legends of Wrestling Roundtable discussion. He's going to make appearances on Raw and, of course, at WrestleMania. He will also be taking part in DVDs, because there's a big DVD coming out soon. It's to do with the 50 years of the WWE WWF WWF. It's going to, because it started around 1963. And it has been 50 years this year that the WWE's been around.
And it's a good time to bring it out too as well, because they can show the old WWF footage.
Exactly, perfect time.
Not blurred out footage like they used to get during the time of the whole argument with the World Wildlife Fund.
Yeah.
You can see the old WWF footage, which is good to see. So if you want to
most definitely
fill in any more about the contract that he signed,
that's pretty much it. And also apparently he is going to get main event level WrestleMania pay.
Good.
Which is well deserved.
But quickly, 30 seconds about the whole debate about that. I mean, you talk quite passionately about Bruno.
Yeah, because Bruno has stated before that The only way he would go into the Hall of Fame if he was to get the same amount of money that a celebrity would get. I mean, these celebrities like William Refrigerator Perry, Pete Rose, Bob Uecker, Drew Carey, I don't know if there's others, but they all got in the millions, so they did. And a legend like Bruno, and past legends like Hogan and Brett and Jesse the Body Ventura and all those other greats, they deserved that type of money too, but as far as I know, they didn't get it.
Not as much as what you get here.
Well, true. I deserve more.
But it is definitely, it's about time. And all jokes aside, we do have a bit of banter back and forth here, but on a serious note, it is about time. And we've also heard as well there's going to be a tag team going in, a manager and another celebrity.
Well, we already know it's going to be Mick Foley, Trish Stratus, Bob Backlund, and Bruno Sammartino so far. In my opinion, take Trish Stratus out of that. It should be someone like Miss Elizabeth going in.
Luna.
Or Luna Vachon, or
Longer
Andre
Blaze. Yeah.
Someone along those lines. As you said, there's going to be a tag team.
Sweet Sapphire.
Sapphire as well, yeah.
Other one who should go in.
Saying about tag teams, I'd say Demolition.
Yeah, definitely. I did mention it the other week.
Heart Foundation. Ric Flair has 2
The
inductions.
Rockers.
Shawn Michaels could have 2 inductions.
The Rockers. Celebrity-wise, who would you like to see go in? Mr. T?
Mr. T or Cyndi Lauper. She did appear on television last year.
I would love to see that.
Apparently there's going to be a manager as well.
And I've heard who it may be. It could possibly be, and I've noticed this ever since WWE announced or going to announce a Hall of Famer. Their YouTube channel all of a sudden gets plastered in their footage. Last couple of days I've noticed as well by watching this, the Dr. Style Slick has been appearing in a lot of videos. So you never know. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Jive Slow Blow, or was it
Jive Soul Bro.
Soul Bro on the stage.
Is there any other managers that deserve to be there? Paul Bearer.
Yeah, well, Paul Bearer. Yeah, he's
Jim
another
Cornette.
one. Never happened. He's too busy with his time at Ring of Honor now. But in saying that, Ring of Honor have a good deal with WWE at the moment. Look at the CM Punk DVD they brought out recently.
True.
All Ring of Honor footage in it. So you never know. We'll see what happens over the next few weeks anyway. But great to see. I always like to say to you, definitely. But it's great to see. But before we go,
Hillbilly Jim in the Hall of Fame here.
We've got 2 or 3 minutes before the commercial break again. We'll talk. We'll give out the results from last Thursday's Impact or Sunday here in the UK. Here, you've got the results there in front of you. I personally didn't get to catch the show, but I've heard all about it. A couple of main things that we read up about and you've seen yourself. It stood out. New tag team champions.
Yep, new tag team champions were Austin Aries and
Bobby Roode.
They defeated
They made a statement the week previous that they're going to take all the titles from everybody, so they're on a quest at the moment to try and win the tag team title. They win all the titles, but they've captured the tag team titles now. All they need to go for is the X Division and the World Heavyweight title. Yep. So maybe they'll pull a Kurt Angle like he did years ago when he had all the belts. Any other matches that stood out for you this week on Impact?
Well, there was a confrontation between new TNA superstar Rockstar Spud, who of course won the TNA Gut Check. He's a talent from the UK. He had a confrontation with Robbie E from the Jersey Shore.
We'll rip off. You know it.
And of course his bodyguard, I guess, is Robbie T, Big Rob Terry. He joined forces with Rockstar Spud.
Yeah, I saw the table match from this week's as well, which I caught bits and pieces on the internet. Which I do apologise, folks, because I've been kind of busy this week. I know you've seen most of TNA, and I didn't see it, which is a change because normally it's me watching it and not you. So, bit of a change this week. Table match between
Billy Ray and
Sting against Aces and Eights. Yep, and it finished up with both Billy Ray putting Devon through the table.
Yes,
instead it literally was Devon instead of get the table, go through the table. Should we say?
And there was a match between Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels.
Yep,
as well.
Good match back in the heyday of TNA. So
one of the best matches still to this day, the triple threat match from Unbreakable, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and Christopher Daniels. One of the greatest matches in TNA history. One of the greatest matches in wrestling history, in my opinion. My opinion is my own.
Absolutely. But yeah, I do apologise to TNA fans. We didn't really get a chance to see much of it this week, but we'll definitely next week, get to watch more TNA. Maybe some old stuff if we get a few minutes as well. What we're going to do is we're going to go to our last final commercial break. It's only the second part. our second commercial break of the evening, and our second track here on Bangor Community Radio, and our second commercial break for YouTube as well. So we'll be back in a few moments' time for more Outside the Ropes with myself, Matthew Moore, and Mr.
McNulty. Call me Mister.
Should we call you, what was it you said yourself, Mr. The Man Who Knows It All, the host with the most? Anyway.
I could rip off Superstar Billy Graham, go the man of the hour, the man of the power, too sweet to be sour.
Copyright infringement right there.
I love Superstar Billy Graham. He is the man.
We'll see you in a few moments' time.